What's good, everybody? We're back again with another video, and I feel like it is the perfect time to do an NBA report card video for each and every team. I do this video once in a while, especially around this the start of the year. It's the perfect time to do it. I think it's been a very fun NBA season. I think we have a lot of stories to talk about. But before we get into this video, make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. I am back for good now. As you can see, I'm trying to redecorate my whole room so I can really go crazy on this content. So if you like this video, enjoy. And stay for long, subscribe, and share with your friends. But other than that, let's get into it. It's an F. No Joel Embiid for most of the season. I believe he's only played like 5 games. In those games, he had a couple good ones, a lot of bad ones. And then Paul George, in and out of the lineup with big injuries. He's been out. Even Tyrese Maxey has been out for some games. And in the games he has played, I haven't really enjoyed it. He's getting his points, so from the outside looking in, it's gonna look good when you watch this. It's not. I've never really found his game enticing. I was never really interested in it. Even though last year in the playoffs, if you go on Twitter, I was giving him all his praises because he was hooping. He was playing very well. It's just never been that type of game for me. And you're going to hear that a lot in this video because another player we got to talk about that I just don't get. But I don't know. It's not really that impactful. But I'm not going to be too much on him because bro, y'all here playing with Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin by yourself. It's hard to impact the team when you're playing with those because then when we seeing you next to a star in the playoffs, you average 30. So I'm not going to give too much on him, but this has never been the game for me. But you have some bright spots in, a bright spot in Jared McCain, who's probably third in Rookie of the Year race so far. So that's good, but overall, it's just an F this season. Okay, so the next one is the Milwaukee Bucks. This one is hard because if you asked me 3 or 4 weeks ago, I would say an F right with the 76ers. But as of late, they have been on a run. I believe in their last 12, they won 9 of them. So they have been pretty good as of late. But I would give them a C+, just because of this run and mostly because of Giannis and Dame. I feel like Dame has had a very good resurrection season, or not resurrection, a resurgence this year after what he had last year. It was a pretty bad year for him. I think Dame has had a handful of bad games this year, but I think he's been very good. He would probably be an all-star reserve this year. I don't know if he would make a starter because the team probably doesn't deserve 2 starters, but he has been very, very good this season. And then Giannis, to me, he's the MVP. To me, best player in the world, MVP, but I don't think he'll get it. But I think Giannis has been amazing. We all know, we've been watching. His mid-range is back. Shooting 46% from the mid-range. Has about 80. I don't know if his mid-range shots at 80 points in the mid-range, but he's been one of the main scorers in the mid-range this season, so that's amazing. The defense has been kind of on and off, but when it's on, it's still elite. But when it's off, it's it's man. So I think it's just him doing a lot more on offense. It's kind of tailored back to defense, but still, I think he's still a very good defender. But everything else is Bobby Portis. I say it all the time. You look at my Twitter. I love watching Giannis. I love watching Dame, but they are so hard to watch because I have to watch Bobby Portis while watching them. And he's just a bad player. And if you look at the numbers, he's probably averaging 12 and 8. That's a good 6-man. No, he is terrible. One of the worst defenders in this league. And it's no reason in hell Bobby Portis, out of all people, should be 3rd in post-ups in the league. It's weird coaching over there, Bobby. Doc Rivers doesn't really know what to do, but they have found some bright spots in the time where they were going on a streak where they were losing. They found guys like AJ Green, who's a good shooter, a pesky defender. He tries his hardest. Taurean Prince has been very, very good for them, so that's a good signing. It started off slow for Gary Trent, but as of late, he's been very, very good. I think that down the line, he probably should be in the starting. Well, yeah, he probably should be in the starting lineup. And then you found a guy like Andre Jackson, who he was good last year as far as defense, but this year I feel like they allow him to pass a little bit more. His defense is good, but one thing I said on Twitter is he got to learn how to use his length and his athleticism, because when you watch him, he's crowding up on a guy. He's all up in their face like this. But he gets fouls. He damn near gets fouled out every single game because of that. He doesn't know how to use his athleticism and all that, and he's very athletic. So once he gets to learn that, he's going to be a very good defender. But he's been pretty good this season. But for the team overall, I give them probably a C+. Next, we have the Chicago Bulls. Now, watching wise, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a beat. They've been fun to watch to me. They split up the pace a lot more. They're shooting a lot more threes, and as of late, that is what the NBA is. But overall, I would probably get it a C. We've seen resurgence in Nikola Vucevic. He's looked very, very good this year. Very, very good. It's kind of weird how he went to 2 mid-years and all of a sudden he's right back and being an all-star. He's looked very, very good this year. Zach LaVine, same thing. I really hope both of them find good teams when they off this team. I hope they don't go to like a mid team or a bad team. I think they both deserve to win. They're both very good players. Kobe White has been kind of meh. But you kind of expected that with Zach LaVine back because like he went crazy last year without Zach LaVine. Ildersum was getting it up. I mean, getting better as of late. Pat Williams is still Pat Williams. It's like a C minus. I don't think you should be that low if you're a Bulls fan, but like it's like really nothing to be excited for. You just get to watch a team that's semi-fun this year. So shout out to them for that. They get a C minus. Now we go to the hottest team in the league. Obviously, I'm gonna get them an A, and that is my Cleveland Cavaliers. I feel like we are an A as of late, or A plus, but as of late, it's been like a B minus because we lost about 4 games in the last 2 weeks. 3 of those games we shouldn't have lost, but yeah, actually all 4 of them we shouldn't have lost. But overall, this season has been very fun. The man I want to give not most of the credit, but like the man that changed the whole team is Kenny Atkinson. He's just, and it's not to take away from. I'm going to say this is going to sound like disrespectful, but he's not doing anything special. He's just doing common sense shit. You have Darius Garland, you have Donovan Mitchell, you have Jared Allen, you have Evan Mobley, 2 of the fastest bigs in the league, 2 of the most athletic bigs in the league, and then you have 2 of the fastest guards in the league. And you're running a fast-paced offense this year. That's some shit we didn't do for the past 2 years. So, like, that's what's made the change. But I can't lie, he's helped develop Evan Mobley so much. You can see a difference in Evan Mobley's shot. And they even said that he worked with Evan Mobley personally most of the time with his shot. The one thing I'm mad about is our defense is just kind of mid. It's not really too exciting like it used to be. But we found gems in guys like Ty Jerome, who's been very good, probably top 10 in 66 man of the year race. And then we have Karis LeVert, who's kind of having, I wouldn't say a career year, but like a resurgence year because the last 2 years haven't been all that. And this is by far, this is his best year as a Cleveland Cavalier. He's been very good on defense, very good on offense, been shooting the hell out the ball. Georges Niang, he's been okay. He hasn't been bad, but I still don't want him on the team. But as the core 4 goes, Darius Garland is back to being an all-star. I think he should be an all-star. I think he has an argument to be an all-star starter. Donovan Mitchell, same thing. Evan Mobley, I do believe he's an all-star. Jared Allen, over the last 2 weeks, has been hard to watch. And this is my problem with him. He goes through these phases or these moments where he doesn't want to play basketball. And it confuses the hell out of all Cavalier fans. But then when he does, he looks like one of the 5 best centers in the world. But he's had like a B season himself. He's been pretty decent. But somebody asked this question on Twitter. They was like, who do you think has been the Cavs' best player? And like my first thought was the fact that that's actually a question shows how good Darius Garland and Evan Mobley been. And Donovan Mitchell has kind of dialed it back this season, but he's still Donovan Mitchell. Those guys are just playing at an all-star, damn near all-NBA level. So, yeah, I will give this team an A+. Boston, not spending too much time on it, A+. Jason Tatum's playing like MVP. Since coming back from the injury, Jaylen Brown has played like an all-star, all-NBA guy. Payne Pritchard, 6 man of the year so far. When KP has been back, they've been damn near unbeatable. Even though they just lost on Saturday, they still look crazy. So, give them an A+. Los Angeles Clippers, bro, I have to give them an A. Because, like, I was surprised how surprising they've been. Like, if you look at the roster, Norman Powell, James Harden, Ivica Zubac, Nicholas Batum. I feel like I'm forgetting names. I know I'm forgetting. Terrence Mann, Kevin Porter Jr., Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr. Like, they have a lot of names. It's just like, I didn't feel like they had the star power. And they still kind of don't. But James Harden is having a really good year, even though he's shooting bad. It's just like he's doing it all by himself. So he's going to be shooting bad. He's going to have a lot of turnovers. That's how it is. But he's having a really good year, an all-star level year. I don't think he will make it, but he's having an all-star level year. Norman Powell is all of a sudden a 20-point per game scorer. I don't think it's real, but it has been fun to watch, and their defense is fucking crazy. Their defense is wild. They're getting carried by defense. A James Harden-led team is getting carried by defense. That's the crazy part. So, yeah, I would give them an A because I believe they're like 5th or 6th in the West. In the gritty West, 5th or 6th with no Kawhi. I gotta give them back because they blow me out the water. They blow my expectations out the water. I didn't expect them to be this good. So they will get an A. Next we have is the Memphis Grizzlies. They will also get an A. Listen, most of the reason why they're getting an A, Jaren Jackson Jr., you're in my respect. I've never been a fan. I've always thought you were weak as hell. I still think you're weak as hell, but you're still a very, very good basketball player. When I say weak, it's like a hard. What I mean by that is like it's hard to watch, or it's like not my type of game. So I'm gonna say you're weak, but he has been very, very good. Like the offense is catching up. It's catching up to the defense. The defense is still elite. So I gotta give him his respect for that. He has been very good. John, when he's played, he's still looking like an all-star, and I can kind of see he's dialing it back to let the others around him be better, and I love that. His playmaking has been at not an all-time level, but it has been very, very good. He's actually taken a leap as a playmaker, and he was already one of the best in the league. Desmond Bane hasn't really been all that this year, but it hasn't hurt them. They're so deep. Jalen Clark, I think that's the rookie of the year so far. Just how quick he's impacted basketball. I mean, the team. I didn't expect that. I'm not gonna. I didn't know who he was when I first watched him. I didn't know who he was, but as I watched him over these last few weeks, he's a rookie of the year. Brandon Clark has been back to playing good basketball. Zach Edey and his minutes has looked good. They found Jay Huff out of nowhere and made him into a good basketball player. Satya Adama is having a career year. They find a way to just find these random dudes in this tournament to very good role players. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I would give them an A. They've been very good. Top 2 in the East so far. They've been very, very good. And John Morris missed games, Desmond Bane has missed games, and Jaren Jackson just been out there by himself hooping. So shout out to them. I would give them an A. Next, we have the Hawks. Listen, if you look at some of these teams' records, you probably wonder why I'm giving these teams so high grades. But like, bro, it's just I don't really care about that. Watching the games, the Hawks are also an A. Trae Young, you look at his points, you look at his stat line in general. 21, 11.1, something like that, on terrible efficiency. I don't care that much, even though you watch the games, like you understand why he has terrible efficiency with the shots that he's shooting. The playmaking has been so fucking crazy this year. Like I just don't care. And then you got guys like Dyson Daniels, so they found in that trade, and he's kind of showing why that might have been a bad trade. But I understand it because I don't think he would have been this over there. But he's been a very good shooter, very good secondary playmaker, and is arguably first team all defensive the season was in today. He's been very good. And Jalen Johnson is a player I didn't watch before. I didn't watch a lot last year, but I'm watching a lot this year. And I understand all the hype, so I'm all in on that train. DeAndre Hunter, all of a sudden, is a 20-point per game scorer, the weirdest shit of all time. And the team's still not that good, but they've been fun to watch, and I think they will overachieve so far. So yeah, I'm gonna give them an A. The Heat, even though they just beat us yesterday, I'll give them like a C. Pretty mid. Tyler Hero, all-star conversations. The guard position is way too deep. I don't think he would make it, but he has been very good. Bam has been terrible. As of late, has been pretty much. He's been better, but he hasn't been good at all. Jimmy Butler, mid. Him and Bam just been mid. The whole team's been mid, so they get a C. Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball, All-Star, All-NBA, averaging 30 points per game. Brandon Miller, pretty good this season. Has shown some flashes. I still think he has a lot to work on, but I think he's been pretty okay this season. So far, the Tajon Salam pick looks very good. I think he's had very good minutes with this team. Had Grant Williams go out on a terrible injury. That sucked. But overall, as a team, I would get them like a C. They're bad, but you've seen flashes. And shout out to Charles Lee. That's the type of coach they need. I seen him yelling at Brandon Miller yesterday, and I seen him bench LaMelo Ball for a quarter. That is the type of coach that they need. So shout out to him. Utah, I'm not gonna lie, I watched one Utah game this year, so I'm just giving him an F. Laurie's been pretty bad. I seen that Colin Sexton went for a game when a layup hit it, but Will Hardy called a timeout literally 1 second before it. So it's just my boy is still on that team. That's an F. Sacramento Kings, another reason why I wanted to make this video. They get a D or a C. I feel like that's too harsh. They get a C, and that's only because De'Aaron Fox is just De'Aaron Fox. But if I'm De'Aaron Fox, I'm starting thinking about leaving because it's just mid. It's bad. It's obviously a ceiling with him and DeMontis. It's a ceiling with this Kings team. As exciting and as good as a backcourt of him and Malik Monk has been, they just lose dumbass games, and it's so weird. And then you got this DeMar fit who it doesn't fit. It's a fun watch, but it doesn't fit. The team overall is mid. Keegan Murray can't shoot no more. Cameron Herter can't shoot no more. It's weird what's going over there. And if I'm him, I gotta go. And that sounds weak, but I'm sorry. That team is just so wild. That team's so weak to me. He has to go this year, but they'll get a C because he's been all NBA. He's gonna get I believe it was $70 million offered to him. He's gonna get that shit. Next, Knicks, they get an A just because it's like so obvious they won that trade. Cat is playing at an MVP level. Jalen Brunson's dialing it back, but then when you look at it, he's averaging 24 and 8. How the fuck is that dialing it back? But he's been very good this year. OG Anunoby has been carrying the fuck out of that defense because it's terrible. Mikal has been mid. Like I said he was. He is not that good. The defense to me was never that good. He's been mid. Josh Hart's been good. Miles McBride has been good. The 6 players that they're playing have been good. Now the other, I don't know. Tom Thibodeau. That's his name. Tom Thibodeau. He's been pretty good this season. I'll give him an A though, just because they won the trade. Crazy. Lakers. C. AD was playing at an MVP level. He's not no more. LeBron's washed. Still a good player, but he's washed. You can be good in wash. It's the same thing. Same with Steph. Steph is kind of washed. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, LeBron's washed. Everything else on the team is just like not to pay attention to. Not blaming anything on JJ Redick, but it's funny how he gets a pass, but Darvin Ham didn't. That is the funniest shit of all time. But it's really on the front office. This having this same lame ass roster for the last 3 years is the weirdest thing. Magic, they get it. They get an A. When with the first 2 games after Paulo went down, he started up season averaging 30. By the way, first 2 games after he went down, I was like, oh yeah, they're about to go like a whatever amount of games he's out, they're gonna lose all of them. It looked terrible. But for Franz to like hop in his bag and hop in an All NBA bag and carry this team to, I believe in their last 12, they won 10. That's just crazy. He's an all-star at the moment, but then it sucks because he's out indefinitely with an oblique injury. They both out with oblique injuries, is the weirdest shit. But overall, so far, they would get an A. Mavericks started off trash. As of late, have been are arguably the hottest team in the league. They get an A. They look crazy. I'm kind of one of the highest people on the Mavericks. They look crazy. They get an A. Kyrie is Kyrie. Luka is Luka. The guys that they added, well, they added him in the middle of the year, but PJ Washington has been very good. Najee Marshall has been very good. Quentin Grimes, they added him off this offseason. And same with Najee Marshall. They've both been very good. Derek Lively's Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford's going to be Daniel Gafford. They look very good as a team. Nets, A. Not for me. Well, for me, this is not a surprise. But for a lot of people, what they're doing is a surprise. I've always felt like the team was very good. It's just the coach was terrible. Jacque Vaughn is a terrible coach. You get Jordi Fernandez, you watch the team, you watch how Ben Simmons and Dennis Schroeder are playmaking for this team. They're very good. They're very well coached. Cam Thomas would have been an all-star if he didn't get hurt. Cam Johnson is playing not at an all-star level, but I believe he got paid $25 million. He's playing like a player that should get paid $25 million, even more. Everybody's hooping. Ben's hooping. Ben is hooping. I'm so happy for Ben. He's hooping. This team is a fun watch. I said it last year. I made a whole video about it last year. It's a fun watch team. They just didn't know how to get coached. They just weren't coached terribly last year. Now Jordi Fernandez with this team. And randomly, a nigga named Tyrese Martin comes in and he has 30 and they beat the Suns, I believe. Like shit like that. It's a fun team to watch. You should go watch the Nets. Denver might get a... Denver's a C. Jokic is just... What did I grade? I think I graded the Bucks a B. So yeah, Denver's a B. Jokic is playing his best season by far, but Jamal is trash. MPJ's been very good. Aaron Gordon has been pretty good. Christian Braun's been really good. But when Jokic touched that bench, boy... When he touched that bench, that team is terrible. It's terrible. Russell Westbrook has been good, though. But I feel like they should play him more with Jokic because it would be fun. And then play him more minutes because it was the Washington Wizards game. He was on the bench when Jokic was on the bench. And that's when they started taking off. Not to say he will save him, but you got fucking Zeke Naji out here running with Jamal Murray. What the fuck is Jamal Murray going to do to make Zeke Naji look good? Nothing. You know what Russell Westbrook does with these trash ass bigs? Coaching like that is just the reason why they're here, and then it's just the talent. They're not there. You would like to say they have a chance to get anybody because they have Jokic, but the team is just so bad. When he touches the bench, he will have to play 48 minutes a game, and I don't think his big ass can do that. Indiana Pacers, they had to get a D. They get a D. Tyrese is showing y'all why I was never on the train to begin with, and they don't play fast no more. It's weird. Benedict Mathurin has been hooping though. But yeah, they're D. Pelicans F. No Zion. Vi just got hurt because he got that play was so wild from Lou Dort. But Bi just got hurt. DeJounte was out. Herb was out. CJ was out. Bi was holding it down by himself. But now he's out. So yeah, they get it. They get an F. Pistons, a B. Shout out to my boy JB, man. JB got them hooping. Top defense over there. I almost gave him an A because the disrespect that Cade was getting for the last year or two has been wild. So now him showing that he's an all-star, shout out to Cade. Jaden Ivey, that was a terrible pick. And I said it when it happened. That was a terrible pick. It was never going to fit. It doesn't. Jalen Durant has been god-awful. He's been god-awful. Isaiah Stewart has been very good. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been good for them. Tobias Harris has been good for them. Malik Beasley has been good for them. They're a fun team to watch. But they're still middle of the pack. But I'll give them a B because they shouldn't be this good. Shout out to JB. Change them. Toronto Raptors, they get a C. A fun C, though. They are also a fun watch. Scotty Barnes is playing like an all-star this year. Again, Grady Dick has shown that he should be in the MIP conversation. Averaging 18. I believe he's averaging 17 now. But he's been very good this season. RJ Barrett has low-key been playing like an all-star, too. They've been a fun team to watch. I really do love Darko. I don't know his last name, but I know he's a very good coach. I like how he coaches that team. I like how coached they are. I like their plays. I like all that shit. Like, they're a very fun team to watch. So I would give them a C. An exciting C. Rockets, A. Sengun, all-star. Jalen Green, trash. Everything else, hooping. Except Fred VanVleet, some nice. But everything else, after Jalen Green, hooping. Fun watch. Defense, crazy. Only reason why they're so high is the defense. Their offense is just offensive rebounds, transition points. Other than that, it's no score on that team you're worried about. San Antonio Spurs, I thought they were going to be out garbage, but they're not. Vic is an all-star. Vic is an all-NBA player. Stephon Castles, damn near can be rookie of the year too. Chris Paul still one of the best playmakers in the league. They get an A. Jeremy Sohan's been hooping. Devin Vassell, since he came back, has been hooping. I think it's Julius Champagne and not Justin. So yeah, he's been hooping. Teams look good. Prayers up for Pop though. Prayers up. Suns. When KD's playing, it's an A. When he's not, it's a D. D-Book, what the fuck is wrong with you? D-Book has looked god awful this year, and that's hard. That hurts me. That hurts me to say. That's my boy. It's just like when you lose KD and you have games where Bradley Beal's out, it's no reason you should be shooting under 30 shots. I'm not gonna lie. And that sounds crazy. This type of scorer he is, there's no reason you shouldn't be getting him up. Brandon Miller got him up when LaMelo was out. He ain't playing with nobody. At least you got some people over there. Tyus Jones, Monty Morris. And this nigga playing with Vasily Mitchell and shit. Like, he's look weird. He's looked weird. And I think he's bought in too much into this 3-and-D shit. Because the defense has been pretty good to me. But he's just the offensive player. I don't know. Thunder, A. With all the injuries they got, A. Prayers check can come back because that injury looked bad. And with his frame, I say right now, I really don't think he's coming back. I don't. But even with that, Shea, top 3 in MVP, J-Dub, All-Star, All-NBA. Yes, I said All-NBA. And iHeart has fit like a glove. So, hey, Timberwolves, a D. They're mid as fuck. And Ant is just like, he hasn't, and I'm not putting it on him because like it's hard for him to take his next step where you're playing with Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert, and that just hurts his offense altogether. And I do think his playmaking has been better, but like I'm looking for a step in it. Because like right now, even though Devin Booker's having a bad season, I still don't think Ant can fuck with Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. In the series he can, but as player for player who's better, I don't see myself saying his name. Because the IQ and the playmaking is just, it doesn't come close to them. So, I don't know. But then, like I said, playing with Julius Randle, he's been bad. Dante's been bad. Jaden's been bad. Mike Conley's old as fuck. Nikhil has been hooping. Nas has been okay. Rudy's been good carrying this defense because the defense is trash. Jaden is getting killed now. I don't know. They're D. Blazers, D. Warriors, B-. They had their highs, but as of late they've been on a down spout, and I think that's because not only because D'Anthony Melton went out, but that shit of the Buddy Hield averaging 20 and shit, that shit went away. So now Steph has to do it all. He can't. He's 30. We're asking another 38-year-old to do it all. It's stupid. So they got to go out there and get him something. But Draymond has been amazing. Steph's been pretty good. Buddy's been okay. Kyle's been good. Jonathan, J.K., I don't know. I've never been high on J.K. But overall, they're doing the best they can with the pieces that they have. So I give them a B minus. And then last team we have is the Wizards. When Kyle Kuzma's not playing, they see you see it. You see it, bro. You see what they're building for the future. And guys like Keyshawn George, Bob Carrington, and if Jordan Poole's a part of that future, you see it with him. Alex Sarr is going to take a lot of time, but I see it. I see it with them. And then when Kyle's playing, you'll see shit. You see jacking up shots, and they look like the worst team in the league. So yeah, without Kyle Kuzma, they're a C plus. With him, they're an F. They're one of the hardest watches in the league. But that's just for this video. I will be back on more videos. I promise this time I am back for sure.